This Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Wednesday in the morning sprint.
Mark has your forecast and when we can expect rain today.
Sydney Charles has details on a critical win for abortion rights advocates in Ohio.
But first, we're following breaking news. Overnight, I-90 eastbound is still closed near Tyler due to a hazardous material leak. Let's get to Allison Martinez live near the scene.
That's correct. Eastbound traffic on I-90 near Tyler is still closed due to an overturned truck that did spill hazardous material. Now, the driver of the truck did suffer from a medical episode causing him to overturn the vehicle. This was a pre-existing condition. He is currently being treated in a surgical unit. Now, WashDOT does tell me that they do expect to, Sergeant Reddle does tell me that he does expect this road to open very soon in the 10 o'clock hour.
As we take a look at our first alert forecast, well, the cloud cover is coming in as anticipated. We're sitting at 64 degrees, and Coeur d'Alene, you're at 64 as well. We're going to see, again, these temperatures this morning, not bad. Deer Park at 58, 61 into Cheney, and you have mid-60s into areas of North Idaho. Our smoke forecast has our smoke clearing out by later on today, and then for tomorrow should be much better air quality. In fact, we should see better air quality as early as 2 or 3 o'clock. We've already slipped just into the good range. Our forecast today, we're going to be in the low 80s today, and we can see that as early as 1 o'clock. 2, we're going to be 80, and then dinner time, we're going to be in the low 80s as well. Going to be a very comfortable day with some sprinkles or light showers coming in midday.
Crews are monitoring a fire that burned 7 acres south of Spokane County. It started yesterday afternoon. Fire crews now have it fully contained, and crews expect to begin mop-up this morning.
In North Idaho, fire danger has been raised to very high, and restrictions will go in place today. Here's what will not be allowed outside of city limits: campfires or stove fires, smoking when not in an area cleared of flammable material, using motor vehicles in off designated roads and trails, and using a chainsaw or other related equipment between 1 p.m. and 1 a.m.
A man accused of trying to shoot and kill his mother and stepfather will appear in court today. It happened in South Spokane County just off of the Palouse Highway yesterday. Sheriff's deputies say 22-year-old Charlie Birkland argued with his mother and stepfather. That argument escalated into a shooting. Deputies say Birkland shot his parents with a handgun and then took off. He was later found at a nearby fire station and taken in for questioning. Birkland's been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder in the first degree.
The Spokane School Board is asking the public to pass a $200 million bond to improve buildings throughout the district. Today, the board will get an update on the community's feedback as it works to narrow down what to include in this bond. Right now, the board is looking at 3 different scenarios of buildings to include. The schools most in need of renovations, are Adams, Madison, Balboa, and Indian Trail Elementary Schools. The board of directors will make the final decision on what will be included on the bond in November.
The push for a new sales tax increase to fund upgrades to the Spokane County Jail is now getting pushback from the people it's supposed to help. 2 groups say they have been left in the dark on how this money will be spent and are asking the November vote to be delayed. Right now, the question is still on the November ballot, but we will keep you updated if that changes.
An Ohio judge has put the state's 6-week abortion ban on hold. In a special election, Ohio voters rejected Issue 1, a proposal that would have required raising the threshold to amend the state's constitution. The Republican-supported ballot question would have called for a 60% supermajority to make changes to the state's constitution instead of a simple majority. Ohio Republicans putting Issue 1 to the people just before November, when voters are set to decide whether to enshrine abortion rights into the state constitution.
Well, the North Spokane corridor is closed in both directions at Freya and Francis again today for road work. Both directions on Freya are closed from Francis to Highway 395. The Department of Transportation says it's causing a lot of congestion on the corridor as southbound drivers are redirected back onto the highway and drivers heading north of 395 are directed onto Market Street.
Each year, the Spokane Fire Department puts out what's called a community risk assessment. It gives them a broader understanding of what the biggest risks are and how they can better tailor resources to reduce those risks. Some of the bigger risks are things you might expect, like building fires and wildfires. Spokane sits in a wildland-urban interface, so Spokane Fire recently hired a wildland planner to help with the risks of having developed land mixed with nature. I'll tell you about that